everyone, and welcome to Dice of Dynamics, where we, with a production value definitely skyrocketing well past the three digits, brings you a story about love, loss, and I'm playing a Southern Belle Tiefling MILF. Thank you.
Oh, well, thank you for that rousing introduction, Fish. Yes, our production budget has gone up. No, and that is not in reference to the lighting behind me.
Well, kind of.
Yeah, well, as Fish alluded to, we are here playing Descent into Avernus. Fortunately, I have ascended from my parents' basement into what is now my new house. However, my desk was not set up, so instead I'm playing it in one of my parlors.
God, that was
And
One of.
one of my
Three parlors, to be clear.
6 parlors, 7 parlors, and a mountain.
6 parlors.
could never imagine having less.
Is it in the
Anyway.
tea house? Come on.
Last we left our heroes, they were having a not great experience in the bathhouse due to the fact that they found one of these sort of bodies of water in the bathhouse filled with bloated corpses. And that is to be clear that they are in a subterranean area of this bathhouse that is being used by the Cult of the Dead 3, this group of death-worshipping zealots who have become a problem inside of Baldur's Gate. And through their investigation and their various discussions with ne'er-do-wells and professional assassins that have roamed the streets of Baldur's Gate, they have found themselves here at what is presumably the cult's headquarters. After dispatching several followers of Mikril in a small chamber, they went on to find an altar of Baal near where they found that aforementioned pool of bloated bodies, at which point they opened the Baal door and entered into the chambers of the followers of Baal as the third member of the Cult of the Dead 3. And after hearing some screams and seeing some cult-like figures looming over cages, they jumped into action. And how was it that you put it, Mark? Went murder what? What was the?
Bloodbath McGrath. Some wild
Bloodbath McGrath. Right. With Bloodbath McGrath on these two cultists, at which point one of the figures inside of the cages spoke. And it was a familiar voice to one of the adventurers, Jeremina, having seen this individual once or twice, maybe even interacted in passing with the receptionist of her attorney. And that is where we will pick up. So you once again all find yourself in a small chamber just to the side of a larger chamber with some pillars. Before you are two cages. Those cages are sort of conical in shape, or not conical, cylindrical in shape as opposed to boxes. One of them bears a body. The body is clearly dead and decaying slightly, though you can still see some of its features. But it has been dead for probably 48 to 72 hours, if you had to guess. And in the other cage is the receptionist for the Jasso and Sons attorney's office, Kathir Jasso being the purse master and one of the dukes of Baldur's Gate. She sort of lunges up from her feet and plasters herself against the thick iron bars, and she says, "I recognize you. And you're not wearing black. And you have other people. Are you here with the fist?"
Oh, no, baby. Okay, I got several questions for you. One, you're not a cultist, right? Like you're not here as some part of weird consensual murder sacrifice thing? You were kidnapped? Lie if you want.
She sort of shakes her head. She says, "No, no, no, no. I was taken. It was just, I don't know. I can't. There's no sun down here. Um, it, 2 nights ago, maybe 3."
Baby, it is all right. We're gonna get you out. We're gonna get you safe. The sun is still out there. The world ain't ended. Second question. You're gonna put me in good with your boss, right? If I get you out?
Charmina, this is a woman being tortured.
Damn.
It's networking.
Olin's gonna take this moment and start dragging the 2 dead bodies away from the cages, not having to deal with them.
Still, Kaz? Still, Kaz? Are you really good at calming
Yes,
people
what is it?
down? You know that I'm not good at this part. Do you want to say a few words? Let her know the world,
Silkaz is gonna step to the cage. Is the rose glowing at all?
Are you making a conscious effort to look like you peeking downwards?
Yes.
As you step forward, the rose, in lieu of sort of while you were around Jetto, it was illuminated. Here, it steps forward and it has what you would define as a light arcane thrum. So it's just kind of feels almost like a heartbeat, or looks almost like a heartbeat when you sort of look down on it, at it.
Well, I would like to let you know that we are going to do our best to get you out of here alive.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Make a persuasion check.
Oh, beans! My mom moved my dice. God damn it.
While Muty's looking for dice, can Olin just look at the faces of the 2 recently dead people, and also go through the pockets while they're trying to calm the woman down?
And
Yeah,
Marty
sure.
That
is
is-
going to start,
That is a
picking the
nat
lock.
20, baby.
Yo!
Nat 20? So you sort of see a feeling of relief just through the thick iron bars sort of wash over this woman's face, and she sort of collapses back from her original frantic position against the bar and just sort of like leans back and sits back. And as she does so, you feel that sort of thrum of the rose get a little lighter as she steps back from you.
Marty is going to start, picking the lock.
Okay. Olin, make an investigation check, and Marty, make a thieves' tools check.
Tweet.
Silkaz is going to step over to Mina and be like, well, it appears she is some sort of bullspawn.
God,
That's
a
why she was kidnapped.
fucking shit roll.
Can I just put this out in the world that there's been 2 natural 20s in a row tonight?
Damn. Well,
And
yeah, you didn't get from me because I got a total of 6 on that lock picking check.
Okay. So Marty, you find that this lock is very corroded and very worn down and hard to pick because of that. You would assume that the key would probably work, but just the rust and buildup from the standing water that this cage is in has gone and really done a work on it, and you're unable to open it.
Yeah. Also, her hands are probably shaking because of everything that's happened.
No kidding.
Just killed 2 people. Jesus.
Yeah. Okay, and then Olin, so you dig around and doing your best to sort of roll them around. You do find one of them has a moldering and festering sort of book, which now that they're laying down in the water is getting wetter and soggier by the minute. Additionally, one of them is carrying a coin purse. In that coin purse, you find 20 gold pieces and a large pearl.
That's another pearl that we found.
Is there a rough
Mhm.
price of that size pearl, or is that something that we're gonna?
I would say that do you have proficiency in jeweler's tools?
No, no, no.
Okay.
Hold on. Olin, I gotta triple check sometimes. No,
Yep.
just thieves' tool.
Okay. Yeah. Then no, you're not able to place it. It doesn't seem to be a perfectly round or polished
Okay, so it'll have to be a bracelet.
pearl. Yeah.
Okay. He'll put once he gets the book, he'll put the book on top of the body,
Okay.
just so it stops getting wet, and he'll just grab those two things.
And there is one last thing.
Okay.
From underneath, sort of as you're poking around, concealed very well, and you can tell that it's under layers and layers of cloak, and perhaps this is something that this individual wears while they are walking about. And this is on the sort of the less martial looking cultist and the more spellcasting looking one. You find what looks to be a sort of a thin leather holster running under their arm, underneath layers and layers of cloak, and underneath their shirt. And from it, you pull a finely crafted and turned wand.
I'm so happy for my natural 20. Okay. Okay, Olin will put all the stuff on top of the body, um, and just stand there and wait for them to take care of.
Mina is going to like kind of meander over, obviously looking over the things, shiny things attract her eyes. As she's talking, she's going to cast prestidigitation. She's going to kind of snap out her fingers and like bedazzle her hands over the book and dry it out.
Okay.
And then she's going to turn to Silkez, speaking in under. The receptionist isn't like drow or anything. Right?
No, she is human.
She'll turn to Silkez and start speaking in Undercommon. Thou'st Rose, thou'st Flower was alerting you to all that.
I forgot about this.
I forgot about that too.
Yes. When I stepped close and she was, up against the bars, it started to thrum with arcane power. So
Beat like the telltale heart.
Essentially, yes.
And she's gonna like chew on this, kind of struggling to get her words together. And that was of ill likeness when around Jetto.
Oh, no. When I was around Jetto, it just glowed. It was lit up, one might say. But this was more of an arcane thrum, so I'm assuming that in some ways it responds to different spawn differently. I don't know the details.
Think she's in the family way with offspring of the devil.
She could be. No, I can't make that joke.
Perhaps not, because she was to be extinguished.
It could be that they were attempting to do a transfusion and basically imbue her with blood and magic associated with Ball, instead of having her be a Ball spawn naturally.
We will have to persist in determining what it all means.
That we will.
And she'll switch to common and she says, once we get back and we get that I'm taking that 20 gold and I'm getting myself a little vocabulary book in Undercommon. So
Okay.
Was I speaking too fast?
No, it's for me. I just hate sounding stupid, and I know I'm sounding real stupid. I hate using matriarch Undercommon.
Oh, that's true. They speak so pompously.
Um,
Um, uh, Olin, did you happen to find any keys in those pockets over there? I can't get the lock.
I'm assuming with the natural 20, I hit every pocket possible.
Yeah, so you can say with the utmost degree of certainty that neither of them had a set of keys.
baby,
There's no key at all. Sorry.
Fuck.
baby,
Okay.
are you okay? What's wrong?
Marty just. It was the wrong time to eat a biscuit. Heck.
Take your
Marty-
time.
Just sort of like looks up at Jeremina and like she's like,
Oh, don't do that. Don't cry.
"You can take back your crossbow now."
No, you keep it. Why don't you know what?
I mean, you
Oh,
did
then.
do very well with it.
Owen, can you take Marty aside and talk to her? Can you two watch the door? Silkins, can you tell Olin to comfort Marty? Cause she's real scared right now.
This is gonna get good.
So, Arlene,
Yeah.
she wants to know if you could take Marty aside and comfort her. And also watch the door, so...
I can do that part, but this is gonna. Yeah, sure. He's gonna take the book because he's been good so far of reading things that no one else can read, so he's gonna test his luck on this book. So,
Yeah, at least just try and keep her company. And also, if you're able to glean anything from the book, let me know.
Yep.
Cool.
Can you say no?
Huh?
Sorry, out of character. Keep going.
I want to know what the question was.
Yeah, I think Fish said, "Can you say no?"
Oh,
Matthew,
no.
can you come help watch the door with me?
Yeah. I mean, she's injured. Can
No,
we get her out first?
Baby, I got it. Me, and EV3 and Silkez, we're gonna pop that lock open in no time. Trust me. I think between the two of us, if one of us can get out of cages, it's gonna be one of the three of us.
Okay. Just.
And Marty does have 5 tons of force. If push comes to shove, we just punch the lock off.
Yeah, but baby, you are all good.
Yeah.
You did what you needed to do, and you did it perfect. So you
Okay.
go, you watch that door. Okay, you got it.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Sounds good.
And Olin will
EV3,
gently lead
listen
the
to
way.
those two. Yeah. Thanks, Olin. Thanks.
And we'll go to the door and stand there and I'll give Marty a minute while I look through.
Okay. Olin, go ahead and make a Arcana check.
Yes, let's go.
And Marty, go ahead and make an Arcana check at disadvantage.
Wait.
Interesting.
Oh, I fucked up. Oh god, here we go. Okay.
This is the second time I got
17.
Okay.
and that would be. Oh, jeez.
Nice.
I got 3 on the die, so that would be 8.
Okay. So Marty, you're having a real rough time of it right now.
Yeah,
but
she's having a bad time.
Olin, what you are able to determine about this book is you find that the writings in this tome are similar or a more formal version of the papers that were stuck all over the wall on the interior of the Microlights chamber.
Oh.
So the papers that were sort of stuck up hodgepodge on the wall with like the red edits and things like that on them, this is kind of that, but it's been transcribed down to be more
Is this
formal.
the one that Olin could read, or was this
This was the one that Olin could read, I believe.
Okay. Okay. Olin Olin will get that information and just close it up. The second he realizes that it's basically just a clean version, he'll just close it up. And he'll look at Marty and go, you okay?
Working on it.
The first time did the body?
Yeah, also learning how strong EV3 is. I didn't realize...
Well, EV3 is mechanical, like the question person of Jacques, right?
Yeah, I did build it though. So oof, okay. I let it carry Jeremina. Oh god, I let it carry
Think of
Jeremina.
this way. And he'll pull out his dagger. He'll pull out his raven dagger. This is like my EV3. It protect me if someone tried to hurt me. So EV3 is like your dagger. It no you hurt person is dagger.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Marty is like trying to piece together all that. Like you have comforted in the fact that she's no longer thinking about all those dead bodies.
But now she's thinking about the ethics of having EV3 kill everybody.
Yeah, it's like I mean, if you're holding it, you're still enacting. But
the question is, do you do it because you enjoy murder, or you do because if not you murdered?
I guess the latter.
Then that is difference between you and them. And he points to the dead body. They aim just kill for fun. You, no.
Yeah, I guess you're right. How are you? How do you do it? What were you?
I don't know.
Huh?
I don't know.
But you were just talking about your dagger. Is that like?
I've had many dreams of this dagger, but I know this is the first time with memory loss that I killed someone. But I don't remember how.
Are you okay then?
I questioned it, but more so what my memory. Not this because it wasn't like them. It was like you. I protect all of you.
Mark it an inspiration.
I also call for inspiration for Mark.
Fine, Mark. Take an inspiration.
Oh, duh, thank you.
Thanks, God.
That's a real choice of you.
Thanks, Todd. I appreciate it.
What the fuck was that? But Marty just sort of nods and says, it's hard knowing how to fight, but thank you, Olin. I appreciate that.
No problem. I don't expect you to be right as rain after this, but just know your reaction means don't do this for fun, which is good.
This thing only rolls 3s today. Marty is going to just sort of and hug Olin.
Olin will have that awkward moment of like, okay.
Yeah, like she.
And he'll put
it's
his
a
arms
little
around her.
awkward.
He'll put his arms around her.
No. But yeah, she is.
He's still very much
having it.
watching the fucking door, by the way. This whole time he was not having his guard down.
I think we need to hard cut over to Silkas and Jeremy and EV3 for the exposition humor. So we cut over to them. Jermina's gesturing with her broken horn at the lock, and she's saying, "This thing is built up with so much fucking rust. Did you remember the chains? You've been in Draxel's ship, right? Remember the chains?
Yes.
It reminds me a bit of that. You know, so one time I went up and I'm talking to Jaraxel, right?
Mhm.
And I'm like, hey buddy, I went and I got you some what's it called? A3. It's you put it on the rusty hinges and it fixes it,
Oh my
and
god,
it's like
fuck off, fish.
air, but it's not.
A3.
Do you know what that is? It's in like a can, and
I
you put it on the rusty
I
hinges.
do
A1R.
believe
Called
I do
A1R.
believe it is called VF30.
Okay, yeah, VF30. No, that sounds about right. But I go up and I got a can of the VF30. Thank you so much. I love this little thing. I was so scared of robots like
Mhm.
a day ago, but I think my prejudices are being challenged, which I really don't like. I made up my mind about how I feel about things when I was 20, and I never wanted to look back. But I guess even when you hit 38, I'm lying. I'm 40. No, I'm lying too. I'm 43. I'm 44. Uh, what was it? But anyway, so I go up to Jiraxel and I got a can of the F530, and I say, "Hey, the chains by our bed were getting real bad." And you know what he says? He says, "How do you know what the chains by my bed look like?" And I'm like, "I was just there last night." And he's like, "You were?" I don't even think I was there last night. Anyways, can you crack open this lock?
So EV3 is going to sort of
Oh my god.
do a little twist, a little stretch, and will then go ahead and raise a fist and sort of swing downwards with the intent of sort of like knuckling the lock off of the sort of the big open door. But just as EV3 raises the arm, the woman on the inside says, "What is wrong with all of you?" At which point, Sam, go ahead and make a strength check for EV3.
I haven't even said anything. I just learned more information about Jaraxel's bedroom and my friend than I think I wanted to know for
Who's
at least.
Jaraxel? Clang. What did you roll?
Strength roll, that would be a 21.
Okay, so there's a crack as the lock gets sort of popped loose, and bloop, the two parts fall into the water, and the door swings open, and you sort of see the woman, the receptionist, sort of push the door open and get into the chamber, and she immediately like rolls up her sleeve, now having the sort of the space to extend her arms fully, and will sort of dump it down into the water and start rubbing vigorously, and you see up and down her arms are ink lines that are being washed away. So they're not tattoos. They were applied there by a pen or some sort of writing implement.
Wait, what is that? What is that?
Oh, she's out. Be right back.
Ma'am,
Hey, baby.
what is that?
I'm gonna
I
need
don't
you
know.
to.
I don't know. They put it on me.
It's okay. We're gonna wash it off, but we need to know what it is.
Yes,
Can
we
you
do.
trust us?
Sure.
I know I'm insane, but they aren't.
I don't know. I'm not a wizard. And she'll sort of stay very still, and you see the ink sort of running.
All right. You know what? Let's only let two of us do this. Oh, I mean, so I think the two of you need to get a good look at it. All right.
All
Just try and get as much of the ink detailing down as you can. Are you going to be comfortable with that, or would you prefer if I did it, or if me and Marty did it?
I have my med kit with me. I can get you not.
Ma'am, please give me your arm.
We'll fix her after.
She'll swing her arm.
Okay.
Thank you. Orlin, come over here, please.
He'll unhug Marty. Walk over. So.
Get to studying.
Okay.
Just like zeroing in.
Okay. What am I rolling for this?
Yeah, what are we rolling?
Go ahead and make a medicine check, and since one of you is supporting the other, you either can both roll
I
or
got a +1.
someone roll with advantage.
Let me see what my medicine check looks like.
He all about watching everything. He ain't about fixing shit.
Mm-hmm.
Till he gets
Also one.
Okay. What do you want to do? We both
I
rolled
don't think
20s
it
tonight, so we both used our luck tonight.
We really did. I can roll with advantage.
All right, good.
You got you.
Oh god.
You got
Okay.
this, Silkaz.
Mm. 15. Oh, thank God.
15. So you look down at the arm, and there is, to a degree, there's lines, and following those lines are sort of bits of text above the lines, and one of them you're able to sort of look at, and it's the one that's on the back of the hand, and there's a array of lines, and just in the middle there's a word that says phalanges.
It
And
looks,
with your medicine roll, you would know that that is identifying fingers.
it looks like they were trying to write down anatomical terms.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't want to crowd her.
Poland's
Where are
good,
they?
by the way.
Marty wants to come over and take a look if that's possible.
Yeah, sure. Come on over.
Let's take a sketch in. That way she can wash it off and get her anatomy back, her autonomy, her,
Yeah.
she gets herself back.
Yeah, Marty will look over it.
Okay. Go ahead and make a Arcana check, Marty.
Arcana.
Marty's doing this. Look to Silkaz. And
Oh,
in Elvish, he'll just say, "This is stuff that was on."
I'm rolling
okay.
shit tonight.
Thank you.
That would be an 11 for me.
An 11. So as you're looking over the sort of running ink, you're able to just catch, but not really identify, a symbol that you remember it from somewhere, and it was recent. And while you were inspecting Jetto's prosthetics on
Yeah,
his
that's what I'm
back, you saw a symbol that matched one of the ones that's not running along the anatomical lines that Silk has pointed out.
Oh, okay. There's some of the arcane markings that were on Jetto's prosthetics as well. Yeah, let's get these off of her.
Alright, well let's take a step back. I think we've got. Go on.
Sorry, I apologize. As she then takes that cue and starts getting it off of her, you sort of see her relax even further than Silk had talked her down, and she sort of looks up and around and says, "There are other people here.
Where?
It's not just me." And she'll motion over to the body.
Well, first off, how are you doing? Like, you were being stabbed earlier. Are you like okay?
She'll point to her other arm, sort of rolling up the sleeve, and you see kind of a very grisly looking track mark. It appears that she had been hit with a needle of some kind.
Oh, they were doing something with her. Marty will go ahead and cast Cure Wounds on her.
Okay.
We'll wrap her up, basically fix her up.
Okay. She'll say, "Oh, thank you so much. Wow.
Oof. I can't roll.
That was
for
quick
fuck's
work."
sake. Just 3 points of
Okay.
healing terror.
Alright. Well, we have to respond to those people and clear through.
Do
I
you know where else
think.
they are?
What's that?
Do you know where the others were taken?
She will point off in a sort of a chamber, sorry, a hallway heading the opposite direction away from the ball door that you guys came through, deeper into the dungeon.
But you were saying, Jeremina, sorry.
Uh, we don't know what the bathhouse looks like, who's in charge. I'm scared of escorting her back, and they just take her back. We don't know who's operating the bathhouse. We don't know if they're good, if they're on our side. But I can't run the risk of just dropping her off in the main room.
Yeah.
I think it might be in our best interest to leave EV3 with her.
Um, it will protect her.
And I mean, if something happens to all of us, I mean, does EV3 have a if I die protocol?
Mm, just continue helping people. But
Can
I
it
don't know how long they would last without me making mechanics on, like,
can it do
keeping them
like
up.
timed things? Can you say if we're not back in 3 hours, go here?
Yeah, I mean, they're basically my alarm clock every day. EV3, can you keep an eye on, I'm sorry, what's her name?
She says, Amalia.
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 Yeah. Uh, can you keep an
A
eye on
pleasure to
Amalia?
rescue you.
Make sure she's okay and nothing attacks her. And if we're not back in 2 hours, take her upstairs and get her to the
Uh,
Flaming Fist?
no, the tavern.
To the Three Old Kegs.
EV3 will nod and then sort of open up a panel, and there's like a mechanical ticking. It will sort of setting a timer for 2 hours and then snap shut the small panel.
That comes in more use than I thought it would. I'm very proud of that.
Alright. So there's more people, meaning we're gonna come across probably more ferocious guys than these. Alright, I'm saying it here. Extreme prejudice. If it has a weapon or is wearing black robes, we hit first, ask questions later. I don't think this is a cult that we can spend time
Reasoning
ruminating
with.
on if they're victims or not.
Mm-hmm.
And I say we go loud. I say we just go in there and start tearing shit up.
Okay.
I would say it would be better to enter, see how many we're up against, and then we can decide whether or not we want to tear shit up. Because I have a limited supply of things I can do to help you guys.
But we all have a limited supply of what we can do to help each other. But, I mean, we can stab eternally. The only thing that keeps
That's
us
true.
from stabbing is getting killed.
I would just be careful around the one. He wears a mask. I think he's in charge.
That's fine.
Okay.
Everybody wears a mask.
The others seem to fear him, though.
Do you know what he's armed with?
No, he just wears a robe and that mask.
Actually, unrelated, semi-unrelated to what we're talking about. Has anyone checked out the dead body in the other cage?
Nope, I was waiting for us to finish talking to her before. That was Olin's plan, honestly.
Okay. Sorry, it just occurred
No,
to
if
me.
you bring it up, go ahead. I was waiting for the dialogue to end.
If we're fighting a lot of people, I don't want to. EV3 is really good at fighting, apparently. Much better than I am. I could stay with her.
It's either that or, we can't exactly take her up without being quite obvious. The only other option is that she gets back in the cage, but even that is disingenuous because if they see that the lock is gone, she's going to be in even more trouble.
No, I got it. Baby, are you strong enough to push open a door?
Yeah.
Alright, now, baby, what you're gonna do, and you're gonna do this for me, okay? Can you do that? Look at me. I know I
You
ain't got
haven't
pupils or
you
eyes,
haven't
but
told me what it is yet.
uh, I'm getting there. I'm building up to it. So you're gonna go from this chamber up into a big one, and it's gonna have an altar to ball, and it's gonna have a tapestry. Now, from there, you are gonna go take a left turn. It's the only turn there is, and you're gonna walk through this hallway, and it's gonna be a very long hallway, and it's gonna be very dark. But don't worry. And she's going to reach into her pack and she's going to pull out a torch and hand it over. This is a real nice torch. You take off the top and it lights up. It only works for a little bit, but you're going to take it and you're going to go down that hallway and you're going to push open a door. Now, you're going to be in a room and it's going to have 3 doors. You're going to come out of the one that's Bane. Now, you are going to go down the one and it's got Micro on it. And Micro, it's going to be a cloaked figure with like a hood hovering its face. But you're going to go into that room, okay? And you are going to stay there.
She nods and says, "Okay, I can do that."
Okay. Now, you are going to take this torch, and I'm going to give you. She's. Give me a second. She's going to pull out a candle, and it's a. Sorry. Am I here?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, cool. She's going to take out a devotional candle, and so it's like kind of long and thin, and it's got like lathander markings on it, and she's going to
Sure.
hand it over. And she's going to say, now what you're going to do when you get into that room is you're going to light that candle with that torch, and when that candle goes out, you head out of that bathhouse, and you ask to go see Detective
Sullivan.
O'Sullivan, okay?
Okay. Sure. Yeah.
Alright. And you're
Leave the
going to do
bathhouse
great.
entirely. Don't talk to anyone within the bathhouse.
Yeah, dude. Don't talk to Sin or Soul. Only O'Sullivan.
Got it.
Okay. And when you get there, never mind. All right. But you're gonna do great, Amalia. All right, now get on, scurry. All right.
Okay. She pulls the top off the torch and it.
Good luck.
Thanks. You all too. And she'll.
Marty
step
will
off.
take one of the ropes so that way if someone sees you, they're not going to assume that you escaped from somewhere.
Okay. And she'll sort
That's
of put
good.
out an arm to drape it
Take it
over.
out before you get outside, but
Okay. And she's now holding a torch and a rope. Will sort of step off.
oh boy, I hope she makes it.
All right. So the thing is, with all this water, I'm not too good at sneaking, and I can't say any of us besides Olin is good at that. But we'll just do what we've been doing. We'll just send an Olin a little bit out to scope. All right, but we can't let them sneak up on us like them first cultists did, because that.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, they took my fucking horn. So.
While they're doing this, Owen's gonna try to get into that cage and go look at the other bot.
Okay. This cage is locked as well.
Olin will take a look at it. Is it rusted out?
It would be difficult to open, but it does appear operable, if that makes sense. So like the lock is working, it's just kind of a shitty lock.
Olin's gonna look at Marty. Marty, do you have those the toothpick things?
Oh, yeah, here. Be here. Don't break them, please.
I don't know. And he'll get in. He'll go to lockpick it.
Okay. Go ahead and make a thieves tools check.
What are the numbers? Dex and proficiency or sleight of hand?
Yeah, if you're proficient, it'll be dex and proficiency.
Okay, so +5.
Nice.
18.
18. So you work the mechanism of the lock, and it is difficult, but it does eventually fall away, sort of swinging open for you.
I'll call them all back and hand it back to Marty.
Okay.
Thank you.
And go check out the body.
Okay. What you see before you is the decaying body of a recently deceased middle-aged man.
Okay. Have his original clothes? Did they give him?
He appears to be wearing sort of like tattered rags, for lack of a better term.
Rusty try to pockets that, see if there's anything ID item.
Okay.
they left on.
Make a investigation check.
Okay. I'm doing good tonight. 13.
Okay. What you find is this body does not have any personal effects, but you do notice sort of odd tightening bands similar to like tourniquets that have been placed on different parts of his body, on each one of his arms.
Tightened or
And
like prepared?
oh, what do you mean?
Is it tightened to start the blood to is it tightened to kill the blood flow, or is it like
Yeah.
sitting there to get ready?
Yep, it is tightened to kill the blood flow.
Okay. He'll leave it and he'll walk out, and then he'll grab the wand and the pearl and pocket it. He'll
Okay.
Jeremy, you knew the other person. You don't recognize this guy, right?
Do I?
You do not. Not only is the face swollen, bloated, and distended, it is not anybody you seem to recall interacting with.
No. I mean, even though his face is all like, not anybody I'd care to remember.
Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah.
I promise that if I had recognized him, I'd be a little more distressed.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I wasn't sure if you had looked yet. Thank you. Sorry.
No problem, baby. Give me a second. I'm going to reapply my lipstick. I'm going to look cute
Now?
if I'm going to go... Yeah.
Alright.
Jeremina is going to cast Prestidigitation on herself to clean her appearance, casting twice if need be, and then she's going to very diligently reapply mascara, lipstick, and she's gonna kind of pinch her cheeks a little bit. She's fluffing out her hair, because if I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna go kill some masked cultists, I want to look cute.
Can't
I
fight
don't want them
if
to
you
find
ain't
my body and I'm looking like this dude.
Can't fight cultists if it ain't cute.
cute.
Exactly. Alright. So, we're going to keep the same marching order that we did as always.
Mm-hmm.
Jeremina pocketed the 20 gold. She's going to disperse that later with the group, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Who has the multi-book?
Me.
I gave it to
Okay. I'm just keeping track of loot. All right.
Smart.
So we're gonna
And
keep
you
this.
put roll with
Mm-hmm. So we're gonna keep the same marching order we did. Sending Olin out to do scoping.
Mhm.
But let's not take time. All right. The second Olin gets us a body count, I feel like it's time sensitive.
Yes, I agree.
Okay. Let's remember 500 gold to the each of us. Olin, you want revenge. Silkez, you want some nice boots.
I
Marty,
do.
you're getting that nice bungalow up in Neverwinter, and I'm getting the wedding dress I always wanted.
Yeah.
Alright.
lose 2 daggers. Start heading.
No, get back in here. We're about to do a little team thing. Get back in here. Alright. Hands in the middle.
EV3, you too.
And Olin will put the blade on top of EV3.
Alright. I'd never done this before. Have any of you? Mari, you look like no. You got asthma.
I was gonna say a copyrighted phrase, but
This cultist is a dead cultist. 3, 2, 1, go team!
death,
Oh,
death first to vultures and cultists.
Okay, I fucking love that.
all right. All right. Let's kill this. So the marching order is. Let me double check.
Don't worry, Muty. Fish
The
already
original one, or
referenced
are you putting Olin
Beauty
in
and the
front,
Ninth
like you
already.
said?
No, I'm like when we
You
get
guys
to
hash that out. I will be right back.
Okay, have
when we
fun.
get to rooms. So it's Jeremina, EV3, Silkez, Marty, and Olin. But before we get into rooms, Olin will just like walk forward past them.
Okay, do we want to, for this one, do we want to switch so Olin is behind you so Olin doesn't have to, do the shuffle every time?
You
Not
do.
necessarily, because the whole point of Jeremy and EV3 being first is if we are surprised, the two tanks, like, the Olin shuffling through was, like, a loss of time that I'm comfortable having, because it doesn't take a lot.
Okay.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
plus we get some more intel into the situation.
Yeah.
By the way, off keynote, I'm actually growing my hair out to be long, so I'm excited.
Ooh. Join me.
Worm.
Yeah,
With, like,
I'm doing
my
this.
weird top.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is if I let this go, it literally just turns into a poof, as you've seen.
Yeah.
So
No, yeah, it'll go poof and then it'll flop. It just takes a while for the poof to flop.
Well, what's funny is if I do this and because right now I have product in my hair. If I didn't, my hair would turn into a wave, and it's fucking terrible. So I always have product in my hair until it's long enough where I can start putting in ponytails and stuff. But I am getting long hair, and I'm keeping the beard.
Yeah.
So
Heck
Hell
yeah.
You're gonna look like a whole ass Viking, as per usual.
yeah, can't wait to piss my dad off.
All right.
That's the real point of having punk hair.
Alright, the marching order is as always, it always is. It's me, then the dashing EV3, then we've got. I just had it. Darn, 1 sec.
It's
always
you. It's you, EV3, Silkes, Marty, me.
It's Marty and Olin.
Mhm.
Alright, I'm gonna put that back down on the top of my notes. Give me 1 second to get it all updated.
It was a mistake watching Encanto again right before this, because now I just have all the songs stuck in my head
We
again.
don't talk about.
Encanto.
We can't keep going. We can't keep going. We get striked.
It's the only
Roll.
one we don't
Not
talk
if-
about, and that's it.
I have to send the Lin Manuel cover of that song in the chat at some point.
Oh god.
Hannah showed me that.
No.
No.
There was actually a tweet
It
from
was
him
alright.
that was like the pinnacle of Encanto, and it said, "What do you want the uncle's name to be?" And it had a bunch of different names, and Bruno was the one of them. And all the other names is like this could have been the song, and it was like Enko or some shit like.
Yeah.
Can't
Bruno.
imagine.
Jeremina
His name is
is
Bruno.
going to take out her axe, and she's going to take out her fishing chain, and she's going to take the hook and flip it onto the light axe, which doesn't do anything mechanically. It's just how I'm like,
Realizing-
flavor. Also, can I take a brief foray to describe the light crossbow that Jeremina gave to Marty?
Yes, please.
Yes, of course.
Okay, so it is made out of a almost a very light, dark wood. It chips very easily, and it's obviously been made with skilled hand, but the etchings that decorate the crossbow are like copied from very childlike drawings. And it seems to be like a very immature rendering of a dock and a bunch of boats. It was once like filled in with stronger pigments. It's like very dull and washed out, and again, chipped. It's been used a lot. And the metal part is what seems to be like the real moneymaker. It's dwarven make for sure, and for someone as skilled and working as Marty is, she can easily tell that it's like the wooden part has been like changed a lot. The metal part is what the real prize is, and that's probably older than like everybody in this place combined.
Ooh, interesting. Yeah,
Thank
Marty
you.
has definitely been like when she's not almost having a panic attack, she's been like looking at it and it's like, oh wow, this is pretty.
Okay. I am all set. My notes are in order.
Alrighty.
Are we? Yeah. As ready as we'll ever be. All right. Onwards.
Right. In the direction that Amalia had pointed, you all make your way through the sort of ankle-deep water, slowly sloshing, and eventually you see in front of you sort of light. Wow, that would have been a sentence. Light, flickering light. Uh, we'll say very, very dim flickering light, filling up a chamber that is directly attached to this passageway that you are traveling.
Interesting. All right.
Which is to say, I'm stopping you guys' forward movement in case you want to send somebody forward, or I can just read you guys into the chamber. It's up to you. Because I know you had said you wanted to send Olin forward, so that's why I said.
Do we hear anything?
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Yeah,
All
I
right,
think
Other ones or
Just Silkaz for now.
oh. My passive's 15.
Pretty
I remember back
big.
of the line, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's ready. Oof, that's the nat one, baby.
Oof. Yeah. So no, not really. Most of what you hear is the water at your feet, sort of lapping against everybody's ankles and Marty's knees.
I don't hear anything.
Jermina's going to press her back against the wall, and she's going to grab Olin's attention and beckon him forward with one finger and motion for him to look out at the chamber.
Smoothly walk up past everybody and start stealthing the chamber.
All right, then cha-cha real smooth and go ahead and roll me a stealth check.
All right.
The second
16.
He said it. 16. You're able to do your best to mitigate the sound of the water, working at your ankles, and you're able to come up to the chamber to where you're able to just peer inside. And what you see here is interesting. So there is another altar-like structure in the middle of the chamber. The two walls on your left and your right both have tapestries similar to the tapestry in that you've already seen of Ball, but also similar to the ones in the Mickrel and Bane chamber. And then across the way is a chamber that seems to lead onwards, and you can see what look to be flickering candles placed on tables sort of along the passageway. On the table in the center of the room itself, it is a small golden chest that is flanked by black candles sort of on either end, and these black candles are fairly large and have a lot of wax buildup on the sides, and they are lit, and it's what was tossing that dim light.
But no bodies.
No bodies.
I'm gonna look back and just give Jeremina a big fat 0 with his hand.
Alright, she'll turn around, and she'll kind of circumvent EV3 to make the 0 at Marty, and gesture for her to pass it on to
Marty will sort of like lean back and sort of like whisper to Silkus, "You see that 0, right?"
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Jeremina will motion for Olin to get back in line. Okay. Jeremina will walk into the altar room.
Okay.
And when she walks in, she sees everything that Olin did.
Yes. Olin didn't identify anything hidden in the room or anything like that. It's all very plain view in this room. Almost intentionally so.
So, and she can see that you said that the chamber... sorry.
Nope.
You made it sound like there's 2 chambers, but then you said the chamber leads on.
Yes. So the best way that I can describe this without sort of, saying to the left, to the right, this is a room interrupting a hallway. And what Olin saw on the other side of the room were candles, sort of, I think 3 of them total, like once it turns back into a hallway, the next hallway has 3 lit candles in it. Does that make sense?
I believe so.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so this is... Okay.
So it's almost like an antechamber, almost.
Yeah, that would be a great way to describe it. And it definitely seems like it's been set up with the intent that people are going to be passing through.
Also, while Marty is thinking about it, she is going to quick sort of like wave EV3 to kneel down so she can turn off the alarm.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I'm gonna be honest.
that is kind of important.
I'm gonna be honest with you. What I was going to do is I was going to have you guys get to the end of the dungeon and everything was going to be done. And I was just gonna have EV3 be like,
Damn it. Oh, I should have left.
It's
Oh,
okay.
well.
That's all right.
Jason's also an evil bastard that, depending on
Yeah,
how
that-
long we took, he would have used it against us.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah,
If
he-
you guys had been
absolutely.
delaying, I would have. But
Okay. Yeah, Germina's going to keep the group in single file. And
I want to do an Arcana check on that little golden chest that's sitting in the middle of the table.
yeah, and Germina, I'm going to impose a wisdom check on her not to open it.
okay,
Oh, Jesus.
19.
okay. Roll a Arcana check, so.
She is looking disrespectfully, but she has. But there's self control.
I mean, if it's full of money, it's blood money, right?
Yes.
Are we above blood money?
No, just not disrupting it. Not disrupting saving people for it. We'll pick it up on the way out.
I swear to God. Okay.
This is how we all get our backup characters.
Yeah, it's because we decided to fuck with the chest.
Olin's just going to let them do what they're doing and just keep
Oof.
a valiant eye out for anyone who's trying to jump in behind us or.
That's
Okay.
an 8.
An 8. So you kind of look it over. One, it's nice, but it's not like ornately crafted or any sort of thing that would make you feel like it had value. As for magic, it doesn't appear to be marked with any arcane sigils or protection wards. There's no like circle of blood around it or anything like that. Best you could tell, it just appears to be a chest.
Well, there's nothing of note. So, I figure we can press on,
Yep.
since I don't think we're going to open it.
No, we're gonna save it for last. When we get out, it's our little prize. Germina will keep them walking.
Okie dokie. You exit the chamber and make your way into this hallway, upon which you see 3 tables, all varying degrees of jaunty. Their legs having absorbed the water over time, so they're each kind of cocked at a different angle, and they all sit in front of doors.
What are they?
And so they're small tables with a single candle on them. I was just describing that they don't appear to be new features. They've been here for a while. And all the doors are on the right side of the hallway from you guys' perspective. And they're kind of inset back into little alcoves. And each door is marked by a candle on a table. And then as you all sort of make your way past or sort of get about to the first door, you're able to see that this hallway ends in a door as well.
Fuck. Hallway 2, hallway 3, and hallway 1 has a door at the end of it.
Yep.
You can see.
Do the Germina's going to like explain to the others what she's seeing, and do the door, like, how do the doors open? Are they like the first ritual doors that are just kind of like push without any? Do they have doorknobs? Are they levers?
They go ahead and make a you'd be able to fairly guess this. They look much older than the doors that you push to open here, but they are of a similar make, with that grate at the bottom to allow the water to pass. But they are just they're metal. They are locked from this side, so there's a sort of a big slide bar that you would have to pull open to pass into the chambers. But the metal has long corroded to a degree where you're fairly sure if EV3 were to lower its shoulder and charge at the door, it would go through it like the Juggernaut Like
Uh,
there's not much there.
Cool. I didn't care about us opening it. I cared about us fortifying it so people inside can't open it and surprise us.
All of these doors are locked externally currently.
Okay.
So you would have to consciously open them from this side to for the door to open.
Is the door at the end of the hallway locked like that?
It is not. It is a what would look newer to you. It more similar to the ball door, but less ornate.
I think and I promise I'm about to turn this into group discussion, don't worry. Jermina's gonna crowd everybody back into the antechamber so we can all like look at each other while we talk. Um and she'll like explain what they saw. 3 doors, locked on the outside, tables with a candle in front of them, but the door at the end isn't locked, and she's gonna kind of like uh I think we opened the door at the end first, but
Oh,
there might
yeah.
also be hiding people in them locked doors.
Well, if that's the case, wouldn't we want to see what's on the other side of the end door in case they hear us going about business out here?
Yeah, that sounds about good to me. Anybody have any complaint?
No, that sounds fine by me. You guys are smart about this than I am.
The
Have
door,
more experience, I guess.
the door at the end of the hallway, did it also have a grate at the bottom?
Yes.
Elvin,
Oh.
I have a really bad idea, and I'm so sorry to suggest it, but I promise that if you do it, I'll clean you up right after, okay?
Oh no.
Oh?
Can you look through the grate at bottom of the door? You're gonna have to get real nasty about it. But you'd be able to peek without opening.
So is this grate is it like a sewer grate where it's like straight to the ground, or is it like making a gap?
Yeah, so basically what it is the doors are metal, and then at the bottom there's sort of a space that's about that big
To let the
because to allow the water to pass, because otherwise the door would get a bunch of friction from the water that's standing in the chamber. So it's been designed specifically for these rooms to be divided, but also to have this space
How
at the
high
bottom
up
to
is the water to the?
I mean, the margin of error is very thin. So you would probably say that there's like about a fourth of an inch of water over where the opening is. So like
Ooh.
you would have to crawl down on your stomach and sort of peek your head up and sort of like arch your body yoga style to peer into the chamber in the way that
there's
Jeremy
enough
is suggesting.
airspace to see. It's just so is there enough airspace to like if I got down like basically ground, you could see like there's actually enough like of a slit.
Olin would know he would not be able to see through the water, and
That's
he
what
would
I'm
have to. He basically would have to get under the door to see into the chamber.
Okay. So, okay. Olin's gonna look at it and go, I would have to stick my head under the door to even see. I might as well open the door.
Alright, well, if we're opening the door, I don't think you can stealthily open a door and
Oh
not
no.
be seen. So
Possible.
it's not a risk I'm wanting to take.
Okay.
Alright, so I'll go in, I'll open the door. Be prepared, all of you, to go swinging.
Silkas will take out his rapier.
Olin still has his knives out.
Okay. Marty, I'm so sorry. When I gave you the crossbow, do you have enough arrows?
I mean, if you had your bolt case, that'd be helpful. I mean, I could probably make some. I can't make any. I'm not going to make any of this. I don't even, whatever.
Okay,
Yes, I could use your bolt case.
Okay, here you go, baby. And she'll pass it over. The bolt case, it's fine, genuine red leather. It's been dyed a beautiful, like burgundy. It's gorgeous. It's got like
Right.
flowers embroidered on it.
Very cool. Does it like go around like the belt or like on the shoulder?
It goes on the belt.
Okay. Marty kind of gets also like to like the last like holes. It's like that's good enough, and she like
All right. Okay. Okay. Let's
Let's
go
go.
for it. Jeremina will take the lead again. This time though, she's gonna ask Marty to get in the back and Olin, behind EV3. So it's Jeremina, EV3, Olin, Silkez, Marty.
mm-hmm. All right.
She's gonna walk up to the door, look back at the others. And she's gonna push it open.
Okay, so you toss open the door. What you see before you is a chamber. There is a lot going on in this chamber. The first thing you see is okay. So I'm gonna work from the outside in. Does that work for everybody?
Okay.
Do we want to take a break here?
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
you want to like take like a screenshot of like the room for us to see?
I will. How about this? I will describe the chamber. We will take a break. Then, if you guys have any questions for me, you can ask me while we're on break. Then, when we come back, we can be good to go.
Sounds perfect.
All right. So, what you have is a large chamber, probably a 30-foot square. Off to one side of the chamber, there is a opening. It's sort of kitty-cornered to the back left side from where you guys are entering into this chamber. And that that entry or exit from this chamber is sort of kitty-cornered, and it seems to branch off into two different directions. The water remains in this chamber. There is in the so in the middle of the room, I'm gonna jump to the middle and describe that. Having spun around in response to your entrance is a tall, gaunt-looking woman holding a saw, which is coated in blood, and there is a prone figure unmoving on a table in front of her. Similar to that, you spot in the water, sort of just to the side of that table, a body that is floating, tethered to the wall by a chain. And additionally, around the area where the gaunt-looking woman is standing, there's like a cart bearing tools and other sort of implements, and then a secondary cart that looks much cleaner than the first cart. And on top of that cart is a arm prosthetic for below the elbow, just sort of sitting there. And that's where we'll take a break.
Ooh.
All right. We will be right back. Just give us a little bit to get our break on, and see you guys in a minute.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Dyson Dynamics presenting Descent into Avernus. Please post in the chat if you prefer stilts or platforms.
This will have an impact on the story.
Yes,
Listen,
this is
find
graded.
On ammonia, it's platform.
This is graded. Jesus Christ.
All right. With that in mind,
Poll in the chat.
we return to
Let me know what it is.
the large chamber where it appears this arguably tall and or mid-sized woman is standing menacingly with a bone saw, and upon witnessing the party enter, she runs for the set of kitty corner doors.
Are we able to do stuff?
Olin's in the back,
Yes.
so-
At this point, you see her start to move, and you guys can do whatever you'd like. She's 15 feet away from you.
I'm gently raising my hand. I would like to hit her with a vicious mockery.
You have stilts.
Okay.
You're not that
As you
ammonia.
call out your vicious mockery, what is it you're saying?
He would probably say, oh goodness. All that work just to let him bleed out on the table? It's not especially biting, but it's like,
Okay.
what the fuck?
What's your save?
That would be a whiz save.
Okay.
Homie 13.
Okay. She hustles off, and you hear her scoff, and you're not sure that your mockery took effect.
How far away is
Um,
she from?
To be fair, it wasn't my best.
I'm gonna hit her
15
with a
minutes, or
firebolt.
15 minutes. 15 feet. Go ahead and roll to hit.
Oh, let me put on the bed.
Okay.
Dun,
Don't
dun,
fail me.
You guys get yours.
Uh,
I'll go with you.
I got 21.
One will hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Okay.
Olin would chase after Ermina to go after an attack.
Okay.
It's a firebolt. So don't run.
That's going to be about 7 damage.
7?
And she holds out her fingers like this, and she goes.
Nice.
As you do so, you sort of track her, boom, and the fireball erupts from your fingertips and launches itself across the room, striking her in the back, and she just sort of boom, gets propelled forward into the water and slides to a stop.
Prone, you say?
Yes, prone, I say. Marty, Olin, is there anything you'd like to do?
Olin's
Go
ahead. Marty goes first.
No, go ahead.
Okay.
You first.
Olin seeing whose shot was that? Jeremina?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, basically chasing the firebolt. Olin is going to run, and as he sees her fall face first, he's going to power slide through the water and basically go to stab her in the back.
Okay, go ahead and make a attack roll with advantage.
What I wanted. +5, 13 to hit? 12.
A 12 will just hit.
Oh, let's go.
So go ahead and roll damage. You did have advantage on the attack, so you will generate sneak.
2d6 plus a d4, let's go.
I'll do it.
Ooh. Oh, almost max damage. 4 plus 3, that's 7, plus 8, 15 points of damage.
All right. As Jeremiah's firebolt strikes into this fleeing cultist, you sort of see her fall, take advantage, and drive her down into the ground with your dagger, and sort of bury her underneath the water. And there are no bubbles.
Olin quickly looks up to see if there's any other movement before he finishes.
There does not, from your perspective, appear to be any movement. Marty, you still have action in this surprise round. What would you like to do?
Uh,
There isn't anyone else in the room, right?
There is a prone body on the sort of operating dais that the woman fled from.
Cool. Marty is going to run up to it and see if this person is alive, and if so, see if she can like stabilize them at all with.
Okay.
Spare the Dying.
Go ahead and make a medicine check as you approach. You do cast Spare the Dying, and what you see before you is a very pale-looking tiefling woman who has a tourniquet wrapped around her left arm, and her left arm has been removed, and the wound is weeping slightly. The tourniquet was not well applied. What did you
Yeah.
roll on your medicine check?
Medicine check is a 13.
With a 13, you can tell that that she is still alive, and based on sort of just her demeanor, you can tell that she was drugged, most likely.
Okay. So Marty is basically just going to like lift, like, see if she can tighten the tourniquet at all to stop it from leaking.
Yep.
And her Spare the Dying is like triaging, trying to make this lady not die.
Okay, excellent. You do that. Spare the dying. This lady is no longer dying.
Yay.
uh,
She's alive. Very, very drugged, but alive.
Jermina's going to kind of walk over, and she'll say, Olin, great job. Can you check down those corridors? I'm gonna see if I can get this woman up on her feet, because being drugged ain't good.
I mean, it's probably better than not being drugged, seeing as how she's fucking arm missing, but you know.
Olin will take the dagger out and wait a half an extra second to make sure she's not like holding her breath.
There are still no bubbles.
He'll
Olin, you punctured her lung. I'm pretty sure I see spinal fluid on that dagger of yours.
he'll look down at the dagger, wipe it on the body, and then start heading towards the kitty corner.
Okay.
He'll just look down and see if he sees prison.
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Let's go. Fuck, I'm doing great tonight. 19.
Hell yeah.
So there are two passageways, one to the right and one to the left. From the right, you don't see or hear anything. It appears to be a hallway which then branches off into three doorways, sort of arranged in like a little almost circular room with three doors running around it. There's nothing coming from that direction. From the left, you hear the sounds of voices, and they appear to be discussing something with intention. They're very, I wouldn't say angry so much as frustrated.
Olin will position himself. So the way we drew it on that thing. Thanks. So we see the two hallways, but it's essentially three doors. It's just basically a circle cut into the square.
Yeah. So the up direction on Fish's map is a round chamber with three doors.
And what's the one to the left?
The left is where you're hearing those voices, but you can't see anything. The chamber sort of breaks away to the left.
Okay, he's going to position himself. So left hallway. Going to position himself to the left of the hallway. So if any of them come into the area, he'll have a strike right. He'll have a strike right away. So he's basically like leaning up against the wall and just listening to them talk.
Okay.
Jermina is going to expend. Before I do this, I'm assuming drugged is like being poisoned.
I would consider it a state of poison, yes.
Okay, cool. So Jermina is going to use her 5 things of lay on hands to remove the.
Jermia, this lady just got her arm cut off.
Okay. But we can't do anything about that if she's still prone here and then we get killed. I'm gonna bring her up to speed. I can get it fixed.
She's
But
got.
we.
Oh,
Our priority right here is to get people out.
yeah. She's going to be in severe amounts of pain. Okay,
That's.
Okay.
I got it. Stop questioning me. I got it.
Sorry.
Go figure
trust
out
you.
what Olin found out.
Yeah, sure. Marty will leave the tiefling woman with Jermina and go check on Olin.
Okay.
Jermina's going to expend 5 points of lay on hands to remove the poisoned effect, and then 5 more to give her 5 hit points.
Okay. She sort of groggily opens her eyes, and then there's like half a second of pause, and then she just immediately starts screaming.
Okay.
You definitely had your mic cut out on that one.
Uh-huh.
It was so good. Jermina is going to cover her face, like stifling it, and she's gonna say, "Hey, baby. All right, you're gonna listen real good to me, okay? Shut up, or I'm gonna kill you. Okay? This is how this is gonna work. You want out? You keep quiet."
Make a intimidation check.
Yes.
With the scream, does Olin here move?
Make a perception check.
Okay.
Don't worry, honey. I got this. I'll make sure she's okay.
Okay.
Better fucking keep quiet.
Bish?
Guess who had a nat 20?
Yeah.
26.
Oh my gosh. Okay, who hasn't had a nat 20 tonight?
Me.
Oh yeah, you've been rolling so poorly.
Yeah.
Oh no.
My wooden dice has rolled 3 threes.
Oh,
Of the
rip.
3 rolls
Cursed.
yeah,
I
apparently.
haven't touched the dice yet.
So the woman just sort of, the screaming stops, and she just goes, mm-hmm.
Alright. And Jermina's talking in Infernal, and then she's gonna say, "Okay, what you're going to do is walk out, keep walking out," and she's just basically gonna repeat the same thing, telling her to go hide in the microll section,
Yeah.
passing her torch.
Okay, give me 2 seconds before we go any further than that.
Olin is prepared for someone to walk out of that hallway.
Yeah. No, that's
Just the fact that he doesn't hear them moving. That's all. It is.
As you're sort of giving her this briefing, she like reaches up with her good arm, obviously, and sort of like peels at your hand, suggesting that you should like remove your hand from her mouth.
Yeah, she moves it.
Okay. She then points with the same hand over at the body that's sort of floating, chained to the wall, and she's like, "They want to know it. They wanted to know everything about the Jassos. I don't know what it means, but if you're here to stop them, I hope it helps. They were questioning him about the Jassos, and before he died, they wanted information about him."
Huh.
Remind me again, if anyone can.
Coin Master.
One of the lords. One of the
Okay.
people dying.
The guy that runs Jermina's lawyer's law
Oh
office.
shit.
Yep.
Yeah, that explains the receptionist too.
Receptionist, yeah.
Who?
That means Jeremina was on the list.
Oh, maybe. No,
Maybe.
probably not.
I don't think two, but she's gonna look up, and I think after there's like this moment where she's like, they're asking about they're asking about the Jassos.
What were the ones with the Jassos?
Well, that's the coin master, and also
Jeremina will kind of like usher the woman on, and she'll say, I'm sorry about everything you've been through. We don't have time to address it. Get on.
No, it's okay. I'll go. Just, if you have any questions, and she'll back up.
What
And
to Jasso?
what's that?
How do you know him?
I don't. Hell, the only thing I'm good for is I know every tavern keep in Baldur's Gate. I don't know why this was necessary, and she'll like motion at her arm.
I was gonna say, Jason, I don't feel the immersion because I see 2 arms right now.
Yeah.
well, the only reason I can assume the only reason I can assume you were picked is because they might just be going around and trying to convert people into. I can't even think of a word for it.
Okay.
At this point, she starts stumbling, sort of, not for any weakness, but just a little bit of panic and a little bit of frustration / like needing to just exit this space. Past you, Silkez, and you feel that thrum again as she sort of passes by you.
Jeez. We're gonna get
They've
these
got to
people
be
out
imbuing.
in jail.
Silkez will like turn and watch her go, and he's like, "They've got to be imbuing them with something."
Oh
Is-
my
is-
fucking god! Mark just thought about it, and I think I figured it out why.
Okay. Are you saying that out loud, like in common, Silkes?
Yeah, like it's a. I'm assuming. Okay, where is Marty in the space? Well, actually, they would be next to each other, basically.
Marty
If Marty-
is over by Olin, because that's where
I'm
Jeremina
at the
told him
kitty
to
corner.
go. Yeah, so I probably didn't hear you.
Yeah, Jeremina probably heard me.
Jeremina will look up, and she will say, considering that scream, let's keep all this real low, and let's go bum. Well, she doesn't know about the voices, so she's gonna say, well, okay, we don't got time to unpack all this. Silkez, you keep that in your little pocket and your brain. Remember to bring it up later, because I'm totally gonna forget. Olin, did you hear anything, buddy?
He'll put
It
the
is at
finger to keep quiet.
that moment, Olin, you hear the argument or the frustrated speaking escalate to what you assume is violence. There starts voices erupt, more than just the two that were talking, and you hear the sounds of fighting, whether it be fist on flesh or blade on blade. There are sounds that are erupting from the chamber to the left.
And it's just that chamber.
Yep.
He'll look and go, fight, and he'll point that way and say, at least.
It sounds like they're fighting in there.
Oh, I thought you were saying we go in and fight.
I go look.
I mean, we could go in and fight if, there's an opportunity.
Olin, I think you should go in and look just to make sure it's between cultists.
And then he'll point at the arm on the heart.
Oh.
Mechanical arm. And then
EV3, put it on the back.
And then he'll start stealthing into the hallway. I wanted to make sure we grab that bitch, because A, that would technically belong to the girl that we just let go. But if she doesn't want it, we might need it.
Marty is definitely going to be studying it at the very least.
Okay.
We'll go down the hallway.
All right. So as you make your way down the hallway, go ahead and make a perception check, and I will also make sure that I consider your passive. I just want to
18.
see if you see. So you see a little bit more than you would otherwise.
Yes.
So as you sort of peek around the corner, what you see is, for lack of a better term, a melee. There is one figure in the center of this melee. You see large, sort of well-built man who has scars on his face, but his clothes, they kind of look almost like Under Armour padding, but formal. And he is swinging his arms wildly as four four figures sort of circle around him and either punch or slash at him. He has in his hand what looks like a short sword, and he is doing his best to defend himself. Um, and as he defends himself, you sort of hear these. He sort of gutturally cries. He is just sort of doing his best to stave off his attackers, and then standing on a sort of small raised platform with a panel behind him is a figure draped in black, wearing a sort of mask with a devious grin on its face, and large horns erupting from its forehead, just sort of with its hands crossed in front of its body, and observing this sort of cacophony of fight sounds that are erupting.
How far did he go down the hallway? Like, how far is he from that entrance?
Okay, so the hallway to where the fight is happening is about 15 feet.
Okay.
So he's moved about 15 feet to get close enough to see what I just described.
And
nobody seems to have noticed him.
okay, and Marty should be right there. Was Marty more
Marty's
clear
still
to-
at the door.
Is Marty looking at EV3 though, or looking at Olin now?
She sort of gave the directions, but is keeping an eye on Olin because he's the one the most apparent
Olin
danger.
is going to look at Marty and just say charge, and then he'll run in.
Oh, okay, guys, we're going, go.
Shit! Go, 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 go!
All right. So, as this happens, several things happen. So you enter the room, and with your party just 15 to 10 feet behind you, the melee is erupting around this sort of well-built gentleman.
Yep.
And as you enter the room, you see the figure with this sort of silver mask on its face. Its cloak begins to lift with its arms unmoving, and you sort of see hands come from inside the cloak and shed the cloak behind it, and it has 4 arms, and one of those arms coming from its shoulder blade reaches across and discards its mask, and you see a scarred face. It's not a face you recognize,
Okay.
but its arms and those coming from its shoulder blades are something you recognize.
Jetto, right?
It is
Yeah.
not.
It's not Jetto, but
No,
it has
it's-
the
but it's
same.
arms.
It has the
But yeah,
same
same-
accoutrement. It drops into a low position. You hear a click coming from sort of it hollow, fills the chamber, and you see holes open in the in the
Secondary arms.
no in the first arms.
Primary arms, yeah.
You see holes open, and after that click, blood start to run down the exterior of the arms. And that's where we're going to leave the session. Because this combat is going to last way longer.
Please, can we please get initiative so I can think
Yes,
about?
yeah, absolutely.
Please.
If you guys want to roll initiative before next week, because this is the final fight of the dungeon, so I will let you guys roll initiative if that's what
Olin,
you.
okay, the next big
And-
question. Does Olin get sneak attack on the guards? Because that's who he was running at. He wasn't running at the
Oh
mask.
yes, yeah, yeah. No, I want to be clear. Given everything that was happening in this chamber, you guys will have a surprise round.
Thank the Lord.
but comma, but also exactly. He the leader was aware of you guys' presence, so he will be acting on the surprise round as well.
Mark, you still have an inspiration, so
Don't forget it. Yeah,
I
use
think
it now.
Jason, you can correct, but I think Jason's inspiration is only last per the session.
Yeah, exactly.
use
So
it
the
for your
initiative.
initiative.
Yeah. Okay, yep.
Yeah.
I'm doing that. That's where I'm using
Perfect
it.
place to use it.
Please be a fucking natural 20.
Okay.
Oh, hey, I finally rolled not a 3 on the die.
God
That
bless.
is a 13 for me from your ENDP3.
Okay.
I would roll my wooden one because I want
I-
to use that specifically for initiatives. But
I got a 9.
Okay. All right. Where are we recording this? We'll do campaign stuff.
that's a nat 20, baby.
Yo!
Hey. I'm at least high on the initiative count. I'm
Okay.
I feel better.
So we got Silkez at 20.
23.
Not 20.
Oh, 23.
Damn.
Okay, Silkez at 23. And then Jeremina, where were you at?
9.
Okay, that's what I thought.
9.
Not where I wanted, but it's still high up, so I'm okay.
All right.
13 for Marty.
13 for Marty?
And what would Mark get?
15.
Yeah, what do you... 15,
Oof,
not
nice.
bad.
I had a 7 and a 12,
That's not bad.
but I definitely
All right.
need my number higher.
Before we cut the stream, do you guys have any specific questions about what is happening in this chamber? I won't offer any more like timeline wise what has elapsed, but if you guys need any other clarifications, now's a great time to ask, because if anybody's watching,
I'll probably ask. Well, we're gonna have Foundry up next week, so I would like to see the map prior to the Friday, just
Yeah.
so that way.
okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
all of my
You wanna
questions are
strategize.
placement.
Okay. All right. That's kind of what I figured, and also, given the fact I was hoping to have Foundry back today, but I know that I'll have Foundry back next week, assuming that I'm able to set up a good mesh network. So, if that's all we had question wise, that ends the session.
And you'll have the initiative for the bad guys too, or is that something we're going to be waiting on?
I just need to roll it.
Got it. Okay. Sorry.
So,
Yeah.
thank you all for stopping by. We're gonna have a map up for the final battle, and then we're gonna go to hell. Thank
Yay.
you.
We're
Thank you,
going to
everyone.
go. We're never going to go to
Thank you
hell.
guys for tuning in.
Thank you for all tuning in. We do have a watch party for the Legends of Vox Machina. If anybody watches Critical Role tomorrow night at 9:30, in our Discord. I just linked it in the chat, so join up and you'll come in there and hang out with us, and we'll watch the next 3 episodes that just came out.
Totally
Besides
legal.
that-
Totally legal. About it.
See you guys next Friday. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.